then would the Jeju process be viable?
I don't really know. I think what I admire of East Asian conflict management is that they manage to keep certain harmony that then reduces the number of real kind of problems arising. But at the same time, anywhere else, I would say it's good to air the concerns, and it's good to disagree. I think it's kind of a non-violent alternative to disagreeing with violence.
I think that's a very healthy science. Therefore, our deputy minister all wanted to respond to the General Pan's statement. Very short comment.
Very short comment, because General Pan sounds like conservatives. I don't know how to divide conservatives and liberals in politics. That's not my business. But anyway, conservatives do not want a resolution of the North Korean nuclear issue. I think which is not the case, because conservatives or liberals, they take different approach. I think most conservatives think that they can rather use pressure than compromise in trying to achieve the same goal, which is the denuclearization of North Korea. So they take different approaches. It's not like that. Conservatives do not want resolution of nuclear issue.
Then among conservatives, there are distinction too. Sanction for the sake of dialogue, that's so-called liberal conservative. Sanction for the sake of sanction and collapse of North Korea, that's a neoconservative. Therefore, within conservatives, a distinction too. Stein.
Tactic, and that they want to obtain something in negotiations later. The other is that it has to do with the internal situation, the succession struggles. And the third is that maybe they are hell-bent on acquiring nuclear weapons and there's nothing we can do to prevent it. And you say exactly the same in the paper. And then both of you also afterwards says that you don't want to say which is true of these three, or what you think. Because you just say for whatever purpose Pyongyang has pursued, the international community has become greatly concerned. But the problem with that is that those three explanations have clearly different implications for what one can do. If it's the first, then you must back to the six-party talks or have bilateral talks and get a negotiated agreement with all the diplomacy needed. If it's number second, then one can wait out Kim Jong-il and see what happens afterwards, and then in a way, just be patient. If it's the third, then one must decide either to go to war, try to make it as physically impossible, or simply accept North Korea as a nuclear weapons power and try to get it to agree not to proliferate. These implications are so different. So in a way, I challenged you just as I challenged Baber to choose between these three explanations. Thank you.
Yeah, just very brief. I think it's a very good question. When I try to present these three explanations, they are not just put in isolation. I think that they, in fact, could be affected one with each other. Or in other words, my belief is North Korea wants a deal. But if it does not get a deal, it will retain its nuclear options. And therefore, it's not a question this one, either this one or that one. I think that it could evolve among these three. So my conclusion is the intention of North Korea is not that important. What is more important is what we do, the other parties, which could influence or shape the option that North Korea is going to choose. If we do not provide a kind of situation in which the North Korea believes that to give up its nuclear asset is not worthwhile, it would keep its nuclear asset. But if the other sides provide a kind of situation in which North Korea believes that it can afford to trade its nuclear assets with something that they really believe that they badly need, I think they will do that. That's my explanation.
Thank you very much, and I'm very sorry that I should have given more time to the audience, but I ended up, raising some, because I'm so concerned about some journalists here so that they can report on it, but I don't know if they have gotten YAMA or not. YAMA means that for tight the themes for the the reporting. Anyhow, I think this panel was I think it is kind of epitome of Jeju Peace Forum. There was a differences, there was a confrontation, but in doing that, they are revealing real intention, no tatemae, only honne, just a true inner feeling. And I think that's a great contribution of this panel. Why don't you give a big applause to the panelists here?